In this video, we'll explore a startling theory that Bigfoot may be a modern remnant of the Nephilim, beings described in
That is really startling.
ancient texts as the offspring of fallen angels and humans. Could these creatures be a living link to biblical giants?
No.
And if so, what does this mean for humanity's understanding of the supernatural?
Nothing. Really nothing.
Join me as we uncover ancient writings, investigate compelling evidence, and hear firsthand accounts of Bigfoot encounters that defy explanation.
Okay, I feel like they're playing fast and loose with the word compelling, right? You know, they just like they're going to look at compelling evidence. If the compelling evidence is in any way relation to Bigfoot, it's not the compelling. It's exactly not that. So anyway, we're gonna get into it. I am Brantley. This is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So I found this video of a woodsman just getting snowed on. Just has snow just sticking to his face, man. He's in whatever the opposite of the place that I'm in. I'm in Florida, so he's like literally in the opposite place. That's how I always think of it. Like wherever Florida is, that's the opposite. I don't know.
Figure known as Bigfoot. What if the towering, elusive figure known as Bigfoot isn't just an undiscovered creature, but the living echo of ancient giants born from the forbidden unions between fallen angels and humans?
What? Yeah, what if that? What if that? Like there's so much that would have to be true for that to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like you would have to, like, all of the religious texts would have to be like true. And then also this one weird verse that I have no idea. I don't know. And all, even back when I was a Christian, I found this verse to be like, what the like, what are they talking about? Like I always felt like I was always intrigued by it, because you're just like, wait a second, you're telling me that angels came down. They did say angels. I think they like made it seem like it was like fallen angels or something. So it's like demons came down, had sex with human women, and then had Hercules and Goliath as kids. I guess I don't know. They're supposedly had giants, right? And so I guess that's the giant part is where we get the Bigfoot thing from. So it's okay. Wow. It's like, what if that? It's like, yeah, that's not the only time what if that might be in the show, What If, and that's just because they get just making shit up, So it's just like they're doing here, it seems.
Deep in the wilderness, where the line between the known and the unknown blurs.
Not really. That's not what I mean, sometimes, but you know what it is? That line where the known and unknown blurs, it's like, hey, look, we found a new species of moth. Yeah, it's like a slightly different coloration there on the side. It evolved to do that. It actually is. Anyway, that's it. That's about as blurry of a line you're gonna get from the woods. It's like there's fucking portals in the woods or something. Like, what are they talking about?
Tales of towering, enigmatic beings have persisted for centuries. We call them Bigfoot, elusive, powerful, and
The term would be Bigfoots. Hello, you're not pluralizing it. You said you call them Bigfoots. You could call it, like, it's one Bigfoot, but two Bigfoots. It's not big feet. I checked a lot. Okay. And and so I don't email me. All right. The plural of Bigfoots is not big feets. It's Bigfoots. Okay. I know. It pissed me off too. But I got to deal with it because it's fucking official. All right. If you ask any kind of zoologist of the fake kind, the cryptic kind of zoologists.
Shrouded in mystery. But what if Bigfoot isn't just an undiscovered creature? What if its origins are far more ancient and supernatural? In this video, we'll explore a startling theory that Bigfoot may be a modern remnant of the Nephilim, beings described in ancient texts as the offspring of fallen angels.
The size, that looks painful. I'm sorry. Like, look at this. And they like went out of their way to make the woman like, small, and the angel fucking Hulk size. Like, what is happening? Like, look at this. It's like a good like 3 feet up here of space. Like, that's just wow. Holy shit.
And humans. Could these creatures be a living link to biblical giants?
No, absolutely not.
And if so, what does this mean for humanity's understanding of the supernatural?
Nothing.
Join me as we uncover ancient writings, investigate compelling evidence, and hear firsthand accounts of Bigfoot encounters that defy explanation.
First-hand accounts, y'all. Okay, so the Bible scholars, this is what a first-hand account looks like. Okay, it's people talking about seeing Bigfoots.
This journey might just change the way you see the world and what hides within it. Section 1. What are the Nephilim?
Oh, he's got this in sections. Wow, this is a bit higher brow than what I'm typically used to. I usually don't do these essays, you know, the things that I'm actually trying to figure out how to do, and it's quite difficult. It's not good at this whole thing. I'm getting there though. God damn it! I just got to put my mind to it, and then I won't just be writing down a bunch of dick jokes, and then I'm like, oh god, I'm supposed to be writing down a fucking essay thing. Anyway, okay, we'll do the dick jokes later, and maybe I can implement. No, dick jokes aside, let's try to get the fucking. Come on.
The word Nephilim first appears in ancient texts, most famously in the Bible. In Genesis 6:4, we read, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward."
And after too, and after, I don't even know why we drew a distinction here. It's kind of weird that we even said that. We probably just said that, you know, Nephilim are there. That's it. That's all you gotta say.
When the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them, they were the heroes of old, men of renown.
Oh, that is hot. Look at this guy. Oh man, that is so. I think I've seen this one before. Actually, it's a wrestling video of it's from the gay wrestle. Anyway,
This cryptic verse has sparked
a friend of mine had a dream about the
millennia of debate. Who were these sons of God? Many scholars and theologians interpret them as fallen angels, beings who defied divine order. And
it's funny too, because I've gone down this whole rabbit hole, and it's like there's like 3 different interpretations, and of course I can't think of like the middle one, but there was like 3 different interpretations, one of which is of course the Bible, or of course the angel thing, right? The demons. And they had sex with women or whatever and had giants as kids, right? And then another one is so funny, and of course it's the one that the scholars go with, and it's like the sons of Seth or something were like known as like the sons of God, like that was some kind of distinction or something, or just some type of title or something like that, right? And so the scholars are like, oh yeah, and it might just be some guy that had, you know, it's just the line of Seth or whatever, they had sex with women, and then their kids were like said to have been heroes or whatever. Like, it's just the most boring interpretation you could possibly get to, but it's just Bible scholars trying to make something like this completely insane, try to like make it sound normal somehow. They're like, that's just the line of Seth, that's all the sons of God are here. It's like, what, really? So then why did they draw the distinction of human? Why did they say human? Is that a weird thing? Like, and the sons of Seth, you know, that line of Seth, they usually had sex with goats, so that's why I had to make sure to say that they were having sex with humans. So that's, I mean, otherwise I don't know why we would say that, but
mingled with humanity. Their offspring, the Nephilim, were said to be giants, both in stature and
this guy is quite proud of his size. He is just, wow, he's owning that pose there.
strength. A hybrid,
he's fucking voguing
race that walked the earth before.
He's laughing too. He's just laughing at this little. Is that David? That's David and Goliath. Come on.
After the Great Flood. But the Bible isn't the only source that speaks of such beings.
What? The Bible isn't?
The book of...
Is it going to say Enoch? I was going to say Enoch. Okay, the book that was left out of the Bible. Great.
Enoch, an ancient text excluded from many biblical canons, expands on this story.
Yeah, I know. It's to keep it out. Wow. See, and this one's even worse. Jeez, the size difference is getting painful. It's just getting painful to look at it, you know? It's like trying to picture Shaq and his girlfriend, and you're just like, that just, ouch. I don't know. I just got to stop thinking about that. That's
Enoch 6:1-2. It describes, quote, "And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied in those days, were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters, and the angels, the children..."
Comely daughters. Oh, now if you want to, I don't even know how to comely. If you want to comely and something with the word comely. Anyway, yeah, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley. That's Brently. And they have just an amazing catalog of stuff. Everything from sexy lingerie to lube to BDSM toys. Like, they got it all. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, and get almost any item. I think it's like 1 or 2 giant things that aren't covered, but literally everything else is. And they have actually have some Christmas deals going on to the end of the year. So check all that out. It's a lot of good stuff. But they'll clue you in once you get to the site there, as long as you put in my code Brentley at checkout. All right. How's everybody doing? Oh yeah, and if you want to hitting that like button always helps. I'd appreciate it. So yeah, I don't know how long this stream's going to be. I've just kind of sandwiching it in between a bunch of stuff I got to do. But yeah, if you want to hit that like, I'd really appreciate it. It really does make a huge difference. But how's everybody doing? Everybody feeling all right? Doing good? It's Friday. It is Friday, right? Is it a Friday night? I've lost track of days. I'm on vacation. I'm on my staycation. So just every time doesn't really exist. All of a sudden I'll just wake up and they'll be like, all right, time to go back to work. And I'll be like, holy shit. And yeah, because that's just, the days and nights blur together and then the weeks blur together. It's crazy. It's wonderful, actually. It's my favorite part of having the job that I have. But let's see what's going on. Who was first today? Ember. Hey, Ember, thank you so much. I meant to give you a shout out too. Thank you so much for the I didn't even realize you did it until the very end. Like I left the chat and then I went in afterwards and I was like closing out windows and I seen you had gifted 5 Punk Apostate memberships and I didn't get a chance to say thank you. So thank you so much for that. That was awesome. Oh yeah. But Ember is here. And its second is Drizilla. Drizilla's here. How's it going? Oh yeah. At the end, Michael knows his place. Not in a weird way. That sounded. Can we cut that? Yeah, that sounded weird. I don't know. I mean, Michael knows his place. Okay, that's what I don't know. It just feels weird. I don't really like that. But Tracy, how's it going? It's a Bigfoot member for 4 months. Holy shit! Oh yeah, thank you, Tracy. That's awesome. I'm trying to make it worth it. Like the other day, we just did a stream of covering a Jay Dyer conversation. It was like a debate kind of thing that he had with Derek Lambert of the Myth Vision podcast. And if you didn't catch it live, it went to membership. So it's like, and I'm doing that every so often. So you never know, it might just end up, you not being able to watch a live stream if you don't watch it live right then. But on top of that, you also get an extra live stream every week. And that one we actually watched a Jay Dyer slap fight that was going on with another theologian dude who was calling him out, and it was hilarious. Honestly, it was really funny. So become a member, check it out. It's a lot of fun. But thank you, Tracy. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Bigfoot. Yeah, hell yeah. Amber said, I think the Spanish Inquisition inspired Bentley to go for surprise today. It actually was that. How did you know that? That's crazy. I was like, because of that Spanish Inquisition, I think it's time to go live. That's right. What other reasoning could I have? Right? That's the only thing that logically. Anyway,
children of the heaven saw and lusted after them.
Oh.
These fallen angels, known.
Well, now that looks really now not only are they huge, but they have rock penises.
As the Watchers,
you're gonna need some lube for that. My goodness.
Descended to earth and fathered a race that was both mighty and corrupted. Their actions ultimately leading to the judgment through the great flood. Another ancient document.
They were there after the flood, because what if the point was to get rid of them with the flood and punish planet Earth or whatever for those things existing? Why did they still exist after the flood? Why wouldn't it have just eliminated them right then? Otherwise, what was the point of the flood? So you're going to kill everybody else, but you didn't kill the reason that you flooded the earth? What the fuck?
document, the Book of Giants, goes into more detail about both the Watchers, or fallen angels, and their corrupted offspring, the Nephilim, or giants, stating, quote, "The fallen angels defiled the earth with their deeds, and their children..."
That's pretty good. That's funny. Michael said, "That's the Hulk. Duh. He smashed gods." That's right. That is just specifically, he's very clear about that. Said, "No, man, it's Dave. Open the door." Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? You're at the door. You're at my door? Dude, I don't really like people just dropping by like that. At least shoot me a text or something. Okay. Just stop. I've literally had to have that conversation with my friends because they would my partner Nikki was like, "You got to tell your fucking friends they can't just show up, okay, and be like looking through the window. Brad, we're drunk. What's up, Dad? You want to go out, bro? We gotta go. Okay, look, we got a 6-pack and fucking damn it." And like, yeah, they would just not be like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna have to have a whole 1-to-1 and 2, and you too. You could just hear what I'm saying here, but don't do that. Don't just stop. Come on, man. Like what? We're fucking adults now. You can't just be. If it was fine when we were 14 or whatever, but like Jesus Christ."
The giants were notorious for their great sins and destructive acts against all living things. It also explained later that the giants feared judgment, stating,
"Oh my God." The fuck? Well, this just looks that this could not possibly be consensual. I don't. Gross. All right, sorry about that, y'all.
quote, "They realized that they had been condemned, and they confessed their sins, acknowledging the violence they had caused and the destruction."
Jizzle said, "Because God is bad at godding." God, I love that, godding. That's great. That could be like a name of an album or something. Bad at godding. Blood Patry, what's up, dude? Hey. All right, cool. Hey, and Ryan, what's up, dude? Oh yeah, everybody's fucking here. And Lord Dissonant, what's up, dude? Holy shit. Winged Bigfoot. I know, right? Wouldn't the wings like be passed down? No, not that. But they got the hairy ape face body thing. I feel like that's not the same. That doesn't work. I don't know.
Brought to the earth. Across the world, similar stories emerge. In Mesopotamian mythology, the Apkallu were part divine beings who were said to pass knowledge to humanity, some of whom became corrupt. In Greek mythology...
Wait. He's saying that this is ubiquitous among like other cultures and stuff and other mythology. And what is ubiquitous? Like the fact that it's a half person, half god. Come on, dude. We still have that going on today with fucking superheroes. Like we were just talking a minute ago, Thor and shit. Like we still kind of have that concept today. Like it's really not hard for a person to go, man, we should make a story. What should we write a story about? Dude, what if people were like better than like normal people? Like what if that though? Like what if they're like super strong and stuff? Like what about that? Like that's just such an obvious thing that's so easy to make up. You know what I mean? And they're like acting like that's somehow like evidence that this must be true. the demons having sex, or I'm sorry, the angels having sex with women and having Hercules as kids, that might be true because multiple cultures have fucking demigods in them. Wow, dude.
mythology,
I hope that's not the compelling evidence. Hopefully that's just we're in the uncompelling evidence section here.
Titans, born of gods and mortals, echo the hybrid nature of the Nephilim. And in Norse lore, we hear of the Jotnar, the formidable giants who stood in opposition to the gods.
Jotnar. Oh, nice.
Such widespread accounts of godlike giants raise a compelling question. Could these ancient texts and legends be referencing the same phenomenon?
Yeah, I mean, it's all referencing the same phenomenon, which is people making up stories about super beings, because that's just something that people like to think about and make stories about.
The Nephilim, a real race of beings.
But can you not be showing the feet? Like, this is grossing me out. What do you think? I'm Quentin Tarantino? Get the shit out of here. What are you doing, man? It's disgusting. That's gotta hurt his feet too, right? Like that's gonna. Oh, it's a sizing. They're sizing it. Okay, I at least see the purpose of it. It's like, why are we just showing fucking pictures of nasty feet? And shave your foot. What is this? Come on. What? No, it's not. You don't shave. Shaving your feet is weird. What? You mean I've been doing it? I've been dealing with an itchy sock like that for this long for nothing, because it's not. Anyway, you know what? We're not gonna we're gonna have to have a conversation later. Yeah, because I need to get to the bottom of this.
Beings whose legacy is hidden in the myths and artifacts of human history. In this section, we've glimpsed the ancient accounts of the Nephilim, beings that defied explanation and left their mark on the human
good.
conscience.
What's up, dude? How we doing, man? What's up? Hope everyone had a happy holiday. I did. Yeah, it was fun. Just hung out with the fam. I went to my sister's place, hung out. It was fun. We had a good time. Yeah, no, and no, I appreciate that my family kind of knows not to talk about certain things, and so that makes it nice. We actually can enjoy ourselves without like being afraid of a Trump-tastrophe. Trump-tastrophe? Nah, I don't know. Anyway, but if like bringing that up would have been a fucking problem, I think. But they were polite enough to like not talk about any of that shit. So that was cool. So it was just kind of a chill night. Had a good time. How about you, Logan? You had a good holiday?
Consciousness. But the evidence doesn't stop here. Let's go deeper and examine the
start.
physical and
It didn't start anywhere and hasn't. It still isn't.
historical clues that suggest giants, humanoid and otherwise, once walked the earth. Section 2. Building a case for the existence of giants.
Oh, this should be fun. I wonder if he's going to have some L.A. Marzulli as a reference here. If he does, that's just going to be my favorite ever.
Legends of giants are not just confined to ancient texts. Across the world, physical and historical evidence has emerged, hinting at the existence of colossal humanoid beings. Consider the reports of massive skeletal remains uncovered in North America.
Yeah, that's totally real. All of this is not an obvious hoax that's been like debunked to goddamn
In 1891, a skeleton over 9 feet tall was reportedly unearthed in Indiana. Renowned researcher Fritz
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Zimmerman, in his book The Nephilim Chronicles, Fallen Angels in the Ohio Valley, writes, quote, "The skeletal remains, coupled with the elaborate construction of the mounds, suggest a people of extraordinary size and capability, whose legacy has been systematically erased from our historical narrative."
Why? What? Because of big, small size people? What would be the reason to hide this? Like, what would be the purpose? What does anybody have to fucking gain from being like, and there wasn't giants back then? Like, what does that, you know what I mean? Like, what? They'd probably be like, well, it actually would be evidence that the evolutionary paradigm is actually not real or whatever. So I think about that's probably what they would say.
Another compelling story comes from Lovelock Cave in Nevada.
That we covered that one. If you go back in my video section, like there's 1.5 billion lives. So that's not what I'm talking about. Like the live section. If you're trying to find something that good luck. I can't even find stuff in the live section when I'm looking for it. Too many lives. But my video section is tiny, right? And so I've got a video that actually talked about this, the Lovelock caves and everything, and it was an L.A. Marzulli, and he was talking about it. It's really funny. But yeah, if you want to check that out, it was a good time.
Where the Paiute tribe speaks of the Site-Ka, red-haired giants said to be fierce.
Nope, nothing about them being red-haired. That was added later,
and cannibalistic.
Yeah.
According to the tribal accounts, the Paiutes eventually trapped these giants in Lovelock Cave, setting a fire at the entrance to destroy them.
Wow, look at that.
In 1911,
good job, AI.
Guano miners excavating the cave uncovered massive skeletons.
Guano miners? What? Who mines for shit, dude? That doesn't even make sense. They're like, we got to find some shit. Okay. We're looking for some good shit. You know what I'm saying?
Skeletal remains and artifacts, including oversized sandals measuring over 15 inches. Historian Adrienne Mayer notes in her book Fossil Legends of the First Americans, quote, "The Paiute legends of red-haired giants align intriguingly with the discovery of artifacts in Lovelock Cave."
No, and as far as I understand, like the red came from, I guess, like hair like turns red after so long or whatever. But like so, and no, none of this was true. Like all of this was like claimed about the excavation or whatever. But like, and it was all after the fact. So like when you go back and actually would look at, and the Skeptoid podcast, I think, was the one that I used most of my sourcing from. The Skeptoid podcast did a whole like breakdown of it on their website. And one of the things that they checked was all of the reports during the digs and stuff. Nothing said that there were giants there at all. All of that was claimed well after the fact. The only thing that connected it to that at all was like myths of some giant cannibal group or whatever, and then that whole story or whatever. They like said that they were giants, whatever. Nothing about red hair, I don't think. But anyway, ended up being they're just normal sized skeletons that they found in there. But of course, they blew it all up and made it all crazy. And it was evaluated. That site was reevaluated like 4 times. Nobody ever reported skeletons being larger than normal. But anyway, yeah. So it's just funny how this stuff kind of grows. But Tracy, what's up? Said, yes, stories that predate the Bible are totally copying it. I know. Hey, I don't know how that kind of stuff works, but maybe it was a magic. It was a magic copying. So that's how they take care of that. I think that what you talk about, like the Book of Enoch, is that? Or the other culture stuff. Yeah, that's I can see that. But like, I mean, that's where you get a lot of the. For some reason, there's like a lot of similarities to like mythology and stuff with it when it comes to like the people being born of a virgin and stuff like that. That seems to come up a lot for some reason, as well as just other shit, sacrifice and stuff like that. Characters would sacrifice themselves for everybody. Anyway, it's not like I don't know. Some people have said that like Jesus was based off of earlier stuff like Egyptian stuff. I don't think that's true because there's a lot of stretching going on when they make those connections. Just so you know, I've looked that up to goddamn death and gotten into it quite a bit with several atheist people that kept on trying to make that claim that Jesus was based off of like fucking Horus and stuff like that. And it just was not. I did not see the evidence that I saw to seem like that was completely, this is just a major stretch. And, we have enough good arguments and responses to bad arguments that we don't need to just be making shit up. You know what I mean? Like we don't need to be stretching like that in order to, try to convince people that the stuff they believe is silly.
Though mainstream archaeology remains skeptical of their size and origin. Well,
mainstream being all of the legitimate archaeology.
Many of the skeletal remains have mysteriously.
Yeah, see, they got the hair. It's like, I guess they were saying like hair turns red after so long or whatever, like the way it deteriorates or something.
Disappeared. The consistent details in both legend and artifacts provide a fascinating.
Oh, that's too funny. Dave, what's up, dude? we're on your subject, man. Have you covered this video yet? Because if not, I think you need to. All right, this is right up your alley. 100%. Dude, it's good to see you. Oh yeah, Logan said, as a scientist, I cure cancer all the time, but I don't tell anyone because I would make humans look too well created. Hold on. Let me read this again. As a scientist, I cure cancer all the time, but I don't tell anyone because it would make humans look too well created. Oh, so the cure, like you can't be curing the people if it's going to make it look like that we were created too good. Like that's the reason why you don't let people know about. I got it. That's that type of reasoning I think that this guy's using for why they hide the Nephilim and Bigfoot. Probably. I don't know. It's like, let's see. Look at it. How do we know they just didn't wear big shoes? I mean, that's always been my question, honestly. If we're just going off of fucking feet print, somebody could easily do that. That doesn't even. They actually don't even have to wear the fucking shoes. They could just make those feet print, or you could just be literally anything else. I don't know. That's not what they say it is. That's why they constantly have to say that they like can go in and out of dimensions or something because we can't ever find any. There's no living ones that we've come across, and miraculously no dead ones either. So it's like where do they go? Where are they all at? So they have to make up some interdimensional being rationalization for why we can't find these things anywhere at all. But this is kind of funny. Let's see here. I'm going to try to keep up with the with the chat a bit today, but you know how I get behind. Let me see here. Jasper's, what's up, Jasper? How you doing, man? Jasper, Mr. Turtur is illusory giant. I don't think I can read that. I said, or mock giant is a gentle and modest person and a vegetarian, but a tragic recluse due to his unusual nature. When seen from a distance, he appears to be a giant. Okay, inadvertently frightening everyone who beholds him. When approached, it turns out he is actually normal height. He is actually of normal height. Okay. Consequently, he lives at an oasis in the desert, the the end of the world. He lives at the end of the world. Is that really? That's the name of the place? I feel like I remember hearing about this. I remember people saying that they saw this giant or whatever from a distance, but it had something to do with, yeah, like you were saying, like forced perspective or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, he looked really tall. And the videos that they showed, and I think he showed one just a minute ago, of the, but it was just like, it was one of those perspective things, like made it, like it was like he's actually not that tall, but you could see just, yeah, it's just like an illusion, an optical illusion kind of thing. Kind of interesting. Let's see. So, Michael, what's up, dude? Hey, it's afternoon. Hey, yeah. And who else we got here? I just saw somebody. Oh, and Michael. What's up, dude? Hell yeah. And Lyric. All right, there you are. Hey, it's been a minute. How you doing? Hell yeah. Lyric's like, I have arrived. I was already looking through comments, so I didn't stop everything to do that like I normally do. Usually that's how we do with Lyric here, but just a missed opportunity this time actually.
Puzzle. The evidence isn't limited to bones either. Across Europe and Asia, enormous weapons, like swords over 5 feet long and weighing 20 pounds, suggest these beings were more than myth.
Who is that for? Huh? I mean, why would they make weapons for things that can't use them? You know what I mean? 5-foot swords, get out of here. Come on.
Dr. Roberto Salinas, an expert
It's guys they gotta be these giants that used those swords.
in ancient
But the everything of the giants disappeared. But the sword was left behind now.
metallurgy, remarked, quote, their wear patterns suggest they were intended for use by individuals of remarkable strength, perhaps even extraordinary stature. Swords aren't the only gigantic artifacts that have been recovered either. Enormous spearheads have also been found, many dating from 4,300 to 5,000 years ago. A particularly rich cache was...
Wait, spearheads? I feel like what... You couldn't just put that on a stat. Like, why? Like, are you saying it's so big that you couldn't lift the spear? Is that really what we're doing?
Found in Monash in
Like, that spearhead is just way too big. That had to be held by a giant. Like, just straight up.
63, with some spearheads as long as 66 centimeters or 26 inches long and weighing almost 5 pounds. Structures like the monoliths of Baalbek.
That's got to be a giant using that. That's not, humans can't use that. That's impossible.
In Lebanon, some weighing over 1,000 tons, also defy explanation. Could such feats of engineering really have been accomplished without the intervention of beings of extraordinary size or strength?
Oh, really? We're doing the Stonehenge or whatever? Like, you set up by giants. That's why it's like that. Yeah. When you don't, they didn't have the magical, or they had like either magical technology, right? Or giants. That's it. There's literally no other explanation here for Stonehenge.
Historical records further reinforce these possibilities. The Irish annals of Clonmacnoise speak of a race of giants said to have lived in Ireland. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote of the Thraxian giants, and early explorers like Magellan described encounters with towering Patagonian beings in South America. Some researchers even argue...
Who is Ames? Logan said, that's what you get for having Amos design your house. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what I don't know exactly you mean there, but can you clarify who's Ames? What's happening here? I'm not I'm not sure I understand. Michael said, I mean ceremonial. What? That word come in at 10 to 15 pounds. A 20-pound ceremonial sword wouldn't be crazy. Yeah, well, I was just gonna say too, like, how do they know that it wasn't just like some kind of thing that was made as like art or whatever, or like something along those lines, or like you're saying, like something ceremonial or some shit like that. Like just because you find a sword that seems like it could not be used by people in war or whatever, that doesn't mean that it was absolutely used just for war, and people needed to be able to use it to fight with it and stuff. Like, we do make stuff for other reasons, and other reasons might not be that they're functional or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of a weird it's just such a weird argument. Like, why would anybody come to that conclusion? It's like, that sword is too big. Maybe fucking giants used to exist. That's it, back in the fucking Narnia days. That's how that goes.
That DNA anomalies in ancient remains hint at a hybrid lineage, a possible race of giants whose legacy is hidden in plain sight. Well, the mainstream
or just hidden, just straight up hidden. That's it.
Misses much of this as myth. The global consistency of these accounts raises an important question. Were giants merely
another one of these were like hoaxes and stuff? Like, there's a lot of photos, it seems, for this whole thing. There's just tons of photos. A lot of them were like or all of them, as far as I understand, were all demonstrated to be hoaxes in one way or another.
Chapter of history? Or does their bloodline still persist today? Could Bigfoot be one of the few surviving remnants of these ancient beings? Perhaps even descendants of the Nephilim? Let's dive deeper into this extraordinary theory.
Okay. Thank you. Now, I'm glad you clarified, because I was like, what, dude? What are you talking about? Okay. Yeah. Look at that. In Amos, I don't know how to say it. In Ames or Amos room is that optical illusion where it looks like one person is tiny and the other is huge. Okay. So yeah, it's like a forced perspective kind of situation, illusion type deal. That's cool. So I too have an enormous spearhead. Now I have a backpack. I mean, that's, and see, that was when they were designing this stuff. They probably didn't think about stuff like that. They were just like making stuff, and just the guy that nobody liked ended up getting. So that's what it was. It was a prank. It was a prank spear. They're like, we're going to give this to Dad. Everybody hates that guy. So we're going to give it, and he just like drops it down to the ground. Really, guys? Sorry, man. Hey, that's what the blacksmith made for you, man. Maybe not be a dick to everybody. Okay, see you later, man. Actually, we won't, because he's definitely in the front line and he's not coming back. This guy's done.
Section 3. The Sasquatch Nephilim Connection. Could Bigfoot be more than just a cryptid? What if these elusive creatures are the remnants of a much older lineage? Perhaps even
Isn't that what we've been talking about this entire time? Like, you're acting like this is a brand new section or something. And now part whatever, the same thing we've been saying the whole video.
the descendants of the Nephilim, the offspring of fallen angels
Pragmatic
and
Crystal.
humans.
What's going on? How we doing? What's up? So one of the sock account, not sock accounts, but like one of the split souls of Pragmatic Crystal that is in every stream at all times, everywhere, all the time. I don't even know if Pragmatic Crystal is an actual person. I kind of think they're just an online entity that is some kind of super being that can digitally exist. But anyway, it's a theory I'm working on.
This theory,
hypothesis. They're using theory wrong too. Okay, fine. I'm gonna say theory.
Well, controversial, has roots in both ancient texts and modern observations. Let's begin with the physical traits. Bigfoot is often described as standing 8 to 10 feet tall, with incredible strength and agility. Characteristics.
Okay, that is just a jumping ape, dude. Okay, that is pretty clearly an ape that is mid-jump.
Eerily similar to the descriptions of Nephilim in ancient texts. The Book of Enoch describes the Nephilim as
big. That's it. Because of the bigness of them. So
mighty, beings of enormous
and mighty too. That's the mightiness.
Stature, who disrupted the natural order. Could Bigfoot's size, strength, and reclusive nature point to a shared ancestry? Could their ability to avoid capture and detection for so long be due to supernatural origins? Some believe this connection goes back to the fallen angels themselves, who manipulated genetics to create hybrids, an act that resulted in beings like the Nephilim and perhaps modern-day Sasquatch.
Oh, yeah, perhaps.
This brings us to the supernatural elements often reported in Bigfoot sightings. Witnesses have described glowing red or green eyes that seem to emit light on their own, unexplained orbs floating in the vicinity, and even sudden disappearances.
Oh, they turn into orbs. Is that really where we're going with this? The reason nobody can find them is because they can turn into orbs and then just fly away as a little tiny ball.
As if the creature vanished into thin air. Take, for instance, the account of Ron Moorhead, known for his recordings of the Sierra sounds. These eerie vocalizations attributed to Sasquatch include a strange mix of whoops, growls, and otherworldly tones.
Whoops. They use whoops, gurs, ahs, and ooh. It's all pretty much everything that the Eagles have in the background singing. For the background vocals. It's the Sasquatch is doing all of them. That is such a fun. That's a person. What are you talking about? Like, that's a person. I could make those fucking noises. What? Come on.
Moorhead himself suggested a supernatural.
Like, how do you listen to that and be like, I have a very serious face after listening to this, and I think that is, I'm very concerned that is actually a Bigfoot
connection, stating, quote, "These beings may exist on a quantum level, stepping in and out of our physical reality." Many Native American tribes also
for sure. Holy shit! Like, did you hear? It was like you could almost hear like or somebody laughing. It sounds like at one point during the sound there. It was like, it's like, come on, dude, this is so obvious. This is so stupid. Logan said, the offspring were just infertile, like a mule. That's why there are none left today. I feel like you're making this make too much sense. So I said that's why that is not going to be something they're gonna go with. But I like where your head's at though. So you're doing you're A for effort.
Ascribe a spiritual significance to Bigfoot. The Lakota speak of the Cheatanka, meaning big elder brother, a wise otherworldly guardian of the.
It literally did. It sounded like like a Cookie Monster or something.
Wilderness. Could this reverence reflect an ancient understanding of Sasquatch as a being with supernatural origins, perhaps even connected to the Nephilim? Even the glowing eyes and reported cloaking abilities bring to mind descriptions of fallen angels.
Reported not seeing them anywhere ability. the reported cloaking abilities. Why? Because it was reported that nobody can find them. So it's got to be it's cloaking abilities. That's what it is. It's not that they don't exist. It's their ability with the cloaking thing. That's what it was.
Angels from ancient texts. These beings were said to possess otherworldly abilities, which could have been passed down through hybrid descendants. Could this explain why
quantum Bigfoot? Hello. I mean, it's like, this is what fucking Deepak Chopra did to the goddamn world. Now they're throwing quantum just in front of fucking Bigfoots and stuff. Like, come on, Jesus. Thanks a lot, Deepak Chopra.
Why Bigfoot sightings often coincide with other paranormal phenomena, such as UFOs, strange lights, or even electromagnetic anomalies. Some researchers speculate that
electromagnetic anomalies, is that has to do with Bigfoots?
Sasquatch may be an interdimensional being, a trait they could have inherited from their Nephilim ancestors, who were,
what?
by definition, hybrids of the earthly and the divine.
Oh,
as we
God, what the fuck? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Like people say that the Bigfoots are interdimensional. And by definition, the Nephilims, they fit that category because they're from heaven and earth, right? So 2 different dimensions. Hello, dude. I don't even know why we're even discussing this. This is so obviously what it is.
Piece together the evidence. One thing becomes clear. The Sasquatch Nephilim connection is more than a mere theory. It's a compelling framework that links ancient myths to modern mysteries.
Exactly. Chaser's like, quantum equals magic, apparently. I don't think they know. They don't know what that word means. They're just like, means superness or something. Complex sciencey stuff. I don't know. That's beyond anything we understand or something. I don't know.
Offering a new way to understand one of the greatest enigmas of our time. Bigfoot sightings.
Dude, look at that foot. That foot is too big. That's what, you know, there's got to be a monster for that. That foot is way too big.
Been reported for centuries, but some accounts go beyond the physical, describing experiences that defy explanation. These eyewitnesses don't just encounter a large, hairy creature. They describe events that suggest something far more supernatural is at play. One of the most well-documented cases of paranormal Bigfoot activity.
Can we really use the word documented? Are we just playing fast and loose with the word documented?
Comes from Ron Moorhead, who we already mentioned as the recorder of the...
Did you just call him moron? Wait, what? Ron Moorhead?
Far more supernatural is at play. One of the most well-documented cases of paranormal Bigfoot activity comes from Ron Moorhead, who we already mentioned.
Moron head. I'm sorry. It's still an insult, though. Don't call him that.
As the recorder of the Sierra Sounds in the 1970s. Moorhead not only captured vocalizations he described as otherworldly, but he also reported seeing orbs of light hovering in the woods near the encounter site.
That's where he filmed this orb, which I don't know if people realize it. Orbs, they're pieces of dust on the lens or whatever, like close to the lens, and it ends up reflecting the light in a weird way, so that there's this little orb thing that sort of looks like it floats around in a video or whatever. But that's typically all it is. It's just sort of something messed up with the lens, as far as I understand. But
2000, author and investigator Stan Gordon documented an encounter in Pennsylvania where a farmer claimed to see a Sasquatch with glowing green eyes. According to the report,
glowing green eyes. Come on, why? Like they're so good at hiding, but they do the opposite with their eyes. They're like, they can disappear, but they want their eyes to be extra visible for some. Like, what would the fucking glowing eyes have any, like, you sure there wasn't literally anything else? There's no other explanations for this sort of thing? Come on, man.
As the creature moved through the field, it vanished in a flash of light. Gordon wrote in his book, Silent Invasion, quote, "This case raised serious questions about the physical nature of these beings and suggested a possible connection to the UFO phenomenon." A park ranger in Misty Pines, North Carolina, who wished to remain anonymous.
Oh, I wonder why. Because then a bunch of like these weirdos just start tracking them down, showing up to their work, harassing their family. And they're like, "Oh no, you got to tell us more about the thing you made up." Everybody said, I mean, technically, Bigfoots are quantifiable. So maybe that's what it is. It's that was the word they were going for, but they stopped short and ended up with quantum. I don't know.
Reported a terrifying encounter with a massive dark figure while on patrol one night. The ranger described the creature as having, quote, glowing red eyes.
Oh, now the eyes are red. So we can't even be consistent with the fucking color of the glowing eyes for some reason, which again are completely inexplicable why this thing would have glowing eyes to begin with. That's not how eyes generally work, but
and an imposing presence. Now, I think it's a safe assumption that an experienced park ranger would understand the difference between self-illuminating glowing red eyes and simple eye shine. In Pennsylvania's
that is a good note. I'm glad that you said that, because if people were like, "Hey, dude, that's obviously just like a fucking deer or something, dude," and he's like, "Hey, I'm a seasoned park ranger. All right, you think I don't know what like reflective eyes look like? These were self-glow." How did he describe it? He said, like self-illuminating.
Now, I think it's a safe assumption that an experienced park ranger would understand the difference between self-illuminating glowing red eyes.
Self-illuminating glowing red eyes.
And simple eye shine.
That is a safe assumption. You're right. That's, you should assume more stuff like that. That's
Pennsylvania's Chestnut Ridge. Persistent legends describe the, quote, stone man, a Bigfoot-like being said to have skin as tough as rock.
What? A stone man? So he got the thing from the fucking Fantastic Four. It's out in the forest somewhere. Jeez, he just needs his little blue underwear. And, he'd be 1-to-1 comparison right there.
Immune to bullets and capable of disappearing at will. Sightings often include...
Immune to bullets? You guys shot at it? That's not... You probably shouldn't do that with a rock monster. Just saying, job one, don't shoot the rock monster. If you don't want to be squished, okay?
Include glowing orbs seen hovering above the ridge. According to a story covered in the Financial Times, a man named Josh described his encounter in Oak Ridge, Oregon. He described seeing, quote, a Sasquatch with eyes blazing through the trees. He described another encounter he had in
like, I swear, like these people somehow just like see something like sort of lit up or something, and they're like, "That's got to be the eye." Like, what? It just doesn't make sense to me that anything would purposefully have glowing eyes. Does anything exist in reality at all that has purposefully glowing eyes? Is to those? I mean, there's like fish down in the fucking deep, the deepest waters or whatever that have like lights on them, but but those are different from their eyes. Their eyes aren't what's glowing. It's like a little light that like hangs in front of them, hangs in front of their face or whatever, uh I'm trying to think of anything that has actual glowing eyes, apart from made up shit in movies,
Alaska, where he and his brother saw a, quote, bipedal creature with matted fur, long fingers.
Oh, that's real. That's real right there. That's it. I mean, you could like, how do you argue with that? That's got to be real.
Red eyes, about 9 foot tall.
Okay, you clearly just ran into a KKK meat or whatever they're called. Hold on.
Another encounter he had in Alaska, where he and his brother saw a, quote, bipedal creature with matted fur.
This is just come on. This is just a KKK sighting. That's all.
Long fingers and red eyes, about 9 foot tall, grabbing fish out of a creek and feasting on them. Native American tribes across North America have long associated Bigfoot with supernatural abilities. The Yakima tribe speaks of the Steyeha, or spirit of the wood, a being capable of vanishing at will.
Look, capable of just vanishing at will. I wonder why they had to add that detail to their characteristics there. They're just never anywhere, so they can disappear. That's what that is. That I feel better with that being the explanation rather than it's literally anything else and I'm mistaken. But look, it's a documented paranormal Bigfoot activity. I know, I love it. It's documented though. I don't know how they just documented that they documented it or something. We're writing down about this, so there we go, documentation right there. So that's evidence. Okay, somebody wrote down that there was evidence. Because the cameras can see into the beyond, according to horror movies. Yeah, that's like that one. Shit, what's that movie? Sinister, right? Where he's got the camera, right? And they're like looking through. It's got the projector. That's what it was. Yeah, it was creepy. That was that's a pretty good one. That first one with Ethan Hawke. That's pretty good. Is he in the second one too? Anyway, I don't know. I only saw the first one, but let's see here. What else we got? What was it said? Financial Times connection to money. I'm sure there is. Yeah, that's what are they hiding, right? What are these Bigfoots hiding? That's what I want to know. Michael said, yes, the Financial Times, my reputable source for Bigfoot. I don't even know what the Financial Times is. That like a fucking newspaper or something that has to do with like finances or something? Tracy said, I don't know. I mean, that they had me totally convinced until they said it happened in Pennsylvania. Everyone knows there's no such place. Just making up names now, making up places. Pennsylvania. Ridiculous. Making it sound like, come on. It's made up. We could tell.
Similar stories are told by the Coast Salish peoples, who describe Sasquatch as a creature that can shift between dimensions. Anthropologist Kathy Moskowitz-Strain notes, quote, native traditions often describe Bigfoot not just as an animal, but as a spiritual being with powers beyond human understanding.
Because of course, you gotta like move it from it doesn't exist, and so it's a spiritual thing. Like, can we move this into the realm of like the magical stuff that people do believe in a lot? Like, is that okay? Can we just like make this normal? And when I say normal, I mean like, spiritual, because like tons of people are saying like some people are even spiritual and not religious, they're like not religious but spiritual. So it's like it's a really common belief. So I feel like we could move this into that realm. It would be a lot better. We could get more people to agree with us,
Glowing orbs are a recurring theme in Bigfoot encounters.
It's not just Bigfoot and cat, it's just any paranormal nonsense, because you're literally just looking for anything. You're just like, I don't know, there's a fucking there was a glowy thing. We got it on a camera, the picture or whatever. There was a glowy thing. So yeah, because I've heard like orbs as it applies to Bigfoot, as it applies to ghosts, as it applies to aliens, as it applies to fucking just you fucking name it. There's an orb associated with it for some fucking reason. Namely being nothing ever happens and they just are looking for anything, and so an orb is something that at least something, right? So they got to just take that as evidence.
In one case from 2018, a group of hikers in Washington state reported seeing orbs of light hovering near where they'd earlier heard
It's this guy with a flashlight, dude. Come on. What are you doing?
wood knocks and strange howls. When the group investigated, they found enormous footprints leading to an area where the ground was inexplicably scorched. Dr. Jeff Meldrum, a professor of anatomy,
They also breathe fire. So that's, I know nobody ever thinks to include that. But yeah, actually they breathe fire and then leave giant footprints. They're fire breathing Sasquatch.
in anthropology and a renowned Sasquatch researcher, has commented on these phenomena. Quote, while many Bigfoot sightings can be attributed to natural causes, the overlap with paranormal events cannot be ignored. It suggests we may be dealing with something far more complex than a mere undiscovered primate. One of the most baffling elements is Bigfoot.
Okay, hold on a second. This one. This is like the main the main video that everybody seems to find so convincing. But to me it just looks like obviously some kind of suit or something. But anyway, Ember said, technically your eyes glow. Mine, specifically my eyes, or just all humans? Is it in infrared? Oh, okay. Well, I feel like that doesn't count, right? Because that's not anyway. But a much warmer critter with a body temp in the hundreds of degrees perhaps might glow eye have glow or might glow eye in our visible spectrum. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wait, so without it being infrared? And you're saying that, okay. I don't know. I feel like I need that explained to me a bit more thoroughly or something for me to understand it, because I don't know. I feel like you're probably right, but I don't know enough about eyes glowing and like realistically eyes glowing. But Michael said it's an econ. Oh, it's like an econ magazine. Oh, interesting. But they just have a random article on fucking Bigfoot. They were just, Ted had been asking about writing that article for like 3 years. They finally had a slow news week, and they're just like, you know what? Fine, Ted, go ahead, write your fucking dumbass article. Jesus, why does Ted work? Oh, his dad is that. That's right. I forget. Yeah. His dad's the editor's brother.
Bigfoot's apparent ability to vanish without a trace. In 1973, an incident near Uniontown, Pennsylvania, involved witnesses following fresh tracks in the snow that abruptly ended in the middle of a field. Stan Gordon, who investigated the case, wrote, quote, it was as if the creature had simply been lifted from the ground or stepped into another dimension.
Yeah, there's no way to fake that. That is impossible. Just footsteps going to nowhere. Yeah, there's absolutely, I mean, that is solid. It has to go into other dimensions or just can fly. I guess it just can fly.
Electronic malfunctions are another phenomenon frequently reported during Bigfoot encounters. In May 2021, researcher Eric Altman investigated a sighting in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, a region with a long history of Bigfoot activity. Following the encounter, witnesses experienced unusual
region with lots of Bigfoot activity in Pennsylvania. So because they keep talking about Pennsylvania, and it's funny because like I feel like everywhere has Bigfoots, right? Like we have what is it, the skunk ape, I mean, the Florida skunk ape, like you could not get dumber with the way that you name stuff, dude. Like if you're trying to make it sound scary, like actually, if you're trying to make any of this stuff sound scary, Bigfoot doesn't sound very scary either. They're like, they're like, hold on, it's a monster or whatever, and its feet are larger than normal. Well, that is just terrifying. Okay, that's a scary. Like it's not like giant tooth or saber tooth monster. Like no, but the feet are kind of big. The feet are extra big, so it's scary. They're freaky big. But Jesus, but no, yeah, the skunk ape. That's so. And then I swear there's another one. Oh, I guess a Sasquatch, right? That would be like the snow one, right? Or like up in the mountains and shit. I feel like there's some other ones too. Anyway.
Usual electronic disturbances in their vehicle. Stan Gordon, who also reviewed this case, remarked, quote,
that's it right there.
Bigfoot researchers have experienced odd electromagnetic effects with their cameras and
Bigfoot researchers, get the fuck out. What?
other equipment at times. With so many
Yeti,
reports
thank you.
describing glowing.
There you go. Tracy's on it. Said, yeah, Yeti is the snow one. Oh, okay. What's the Sam Squamch? What's the Sam Squamch one? What was that? Sam Squamch. Oh yeah. Renowned Sasquatch researcher. Infamous is actually the word we were replacing with renowned. It felt more official and less didn't hurt our whole thing here. Imagine putting that on your resume. I am a renowned Sasquatch investigator. Like, you're a what? Sasquatch investigator. What? I'm not going to say it a third time. So let's just pretend that you never understand me, and we're just going to move on.
Eyes, orbs of light, electromagnetic anomalies, and even cloaking. It's hard to dismiss the idea that Bigfoot exists on the edge of the natural and the supernatural.
That's really not, it's not hard to dismiss. It's real easy, actually. You just go, yeah, I'm not convinced that's true until we have actually compelling evidence and not just a bunch of whatever the fuck this shit is that could be so easily literally anything, including a bunch of people lying and or just like doing hoaxes and stuff.
First-hand accounts, while extraordinary, may be our best evidence yet of the Sasquatch Nephilim connection.
Oh, look at that. That's the Sam Squamch Nephilim.
Section 4. Counter-arguments and skepticism.
Oh, good. This is our section. This is where we come in. Okay. This is what we were here for.
Despite the compelling stories and evidence.
No, they're not compelling. All right, you got to take that word out of your fucking vocabulary because I'm starting to think you don't know what it means.
The idea of Bigfoot.
It's funny too. Like, I actually, this is funny. I did a debate with this dude who named Kelly, who actually, if you go back and look at the episode that I was on Truth Wanted, the second time that I was on Truth Wanted, he called it, right? And he and he and I had debated like several times. He's like a pre-sub, and he's all into like DNA as evidence, right? And I remember this was like one of those things that like messes with you like years later. We're just like, I can't believe I was so stupid. Why do I get? And it's like it still just runs around in my mind sometimes. It's just like, why the fuck did I say that? And he was like doing this whole DNA thing, saying that DNA was proof of God. And I finally was like, all right, we're just going to move on. All right. And, I don't want to talk. And he was like, so what do you think about it? And I was like, I didn't realize that compelling meant like, I believe you, like I'm compelled by your argument. I just thought it meant like, you seem to really believe your argument. And so you're, like the kind of that, like you're very into your beliefs or whatever. And so I thought that's what a compelling argument meant. Like the person that's telling it is very compelled by their argument. And so I told him that he had a compelling argument and he was like, oh my God. Hell yeah. All right, cool. Say that. So you said it's a compelling argument. Wow, man. I got the atheist to say I made a compelling argument about presuppositionalism apologetics as it applies to DNA, man. I'm so fucking, this is great. And then like for the longest time after that, I was just like, still to this day, I'm just like irritated that I used exactly that phrasing. Cause I'm like, what the fuck did I have to say? A compelling argument? Like why? That's it. But it was like right after I deconverted. So it's like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Bigfoot as a supernatural.
Still don't, probably. I feel like, but I'm getting there. I'm learning.
Being or a descendant of the Nephilim is not without its critics. Skeptics argue that the evidence for both Bigfoot and giants lacks scientific rigor and that many sightings can be attributed to misidentification.
Well, I think that's what it means, right? It's like compelling means that like you're compelled by it. Like it's actually a good argument, right? Like it's an argument that should convince people, right? Because it's so compelling. And I back then I just didn't realize that's what that word meant. I was thinking it meant like they were really into their own argument kind of thing. Like they find it very convincing. But that's they're compelled by their own argument. I didn't think it meant like, oh, everybody should be compelled by this. I didn't, but it's funny.
Hoaxes or psychological phenomena. One common argument is that the lack of physical remains like bones or teeth casts doubt on Bigfoot's existence.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem for its existence.
Let alone its supernatural connections.
Oh, that just that totally takes it to the land of stupid, but yeah.
Biologist John Napier, in his book Bigfoot, The Yeti and Sasquatch in Myth and Reality, stated, quote, "The evidence I have examined would not satisfy a qualified scientist in other fields. The search for Bigfoot has more to do with belief than biology." Critics also
You just said the thing. Like you're saying if it has to do more with belief than biology, then you don't have anything. If it requires belief to believe in it, then you don't have good evidence. So I mean, he's just saying straight out, the evidence I have wouldn't convince anybody that's like into the actual field of science in any way. You know, it's just funny. So they just basically admitted that they don't have any evidence and that it requires faith. This is a faith-based belief.
also question the paranormal aspects of Bigfoot encounters. They point out that glowing eyes can often be explained by eye shine from reflected light, and orbs of light in forests are sometimes attributed to natural phenomena like swamp gas or fireflies.
Swamp gas or fly, or just like I said, a fucking piece of lint or something on the lens, and it gets hit. You know, when that is hit by light. Yeah, of course, it could be those other things too. Swamp gas, I guess. Although I don't think I would. That would not be my first gas, but I don't know. But was it swamp? Maybe it might have been swamp gas. Were you in a swamp? No. Okay, well, that might not be the gas that's from those things. But
Hoaxes have also muddied the waters. High-profile cases, such as the infamous 2008 Georgia Bigfoot hoax.
damn hoaxes muddy in the waters. Yeah. Or they were all just hoaxes because there's not actually any evidence. Wait, it says, and DNA evidence would review. No, I can't read all that.
Have led many to dismiss Bigfoot encounters.
Oh, DNA evidence that it was a hoax. Got it. Yeah.
As pranks or fabrications. These incidents, skeptics argue, undermine the credibility of genuine eyewitness reports.
The genuine kind. Yeah. Those damn hoaxy people, you know, they're just making it hard for the rest of them.
Yet even among skeptics, there is acknowledgement of mysteries that science cannot yet fully explain. Dr. Jeff Meldrum.
They're called cryptic zoologists, but close. You almost said it. Bigfootologists, is that?
While cautious about the supernatural claims, has defended the study of Bigfoot, stating, quote, "While some evidence may be fabricated, the sheer volume of consistent accounts across cultures and centuries demands serious investigation. And what of the phenomena that science struck?"
That's funny. They're saying, hey, across all the cultures, they have stuff they don't know what it is and that they've seen or thought they've seen in the dark that might be like a half man, half ape thing or monster, or like not even just some hairy monster on 2 feet. That's but it's across all the cultures. So hey, it's got to be some kind of connection here.
Struggles to explain. Track.
This is obvious. Like it to me, it's just anytime because whenever you hear these stories, and here's the thing: like I've had stories like this where I remember seeing stuff or thinking that I saw stuff that I didn't fucking see. You know what I mean? Like there was like one time we used to play manhunt. I used to live right next to this school. 3 schools actually. It was like right in the center with like where 3 different schools were. And back in the day, you could just go on the property of schools. Nobody gave a shit, right? Like they even had like a little park kind of playground area and stuff. We would go there and play on the playground and all that. And because we lived right there, we also had a bunch of neighborhood kids, so we would all go out there and play manhunt all the time, right? And so I remember seeing shit all the fucking time that I couldn't explain when we were out there playing manhunt. At the one time, I swear I remember seeing like a shadow thing like running across the field at like top speed, you know. But again, it was like dark, you know, you can't really make stuff out. It could have easily just been a fucking bird. There was like giant birds, these crane things that would be all over the place. And like if it's in like a distance, a particular distance enough like away, it could easily be mistaken for something like a giant shadow creature running across. But another thing I remember, I think I saw, I thought I saw aliens. I remember seeing like a triangle thing, you know, this triangle thing, and saw that up there. I saw a bunch of shit, you know, when I was young, and stuff that I just couldn't explain because it was nighttime, it was in the dark, and it's like real easy to just like let your imagination run away with you, you know, when you see stuff that you can't explain. But you know, looking back now, it's like, oh yeah, none of that stuff was real. And of course, at the time, I believed all of it. I was like, oh yeah, no, I've seen aliens, I've seen shadow monster creatures that run around trying to distract me when I'm trying to play manhunt. I think, so well, I think one of my friends knows a shadow monster, and they're like, can you run across the field to throw them off? and then they, you know, could waste a bunch of time chasing the shadow monster, and then everybody else gets away, and I lose the game. But you know, so it's just shit like that. But
that end abruptly, electromagnetic anomalies, and sightings of glowing
Stop there.
orbs often leave even the most skeptical investigators scratching their heads. Could these anomalies point to something beyond our current understanding of biology and physics?
No, no, it wouldn't point to anything. You'd need like actual evidence for that.
Conclusion. From ancient texts to modern encounters, the evidence
That was
paints
it. That was the skeptic part. That was all of it. It's just, it's like, I don't know. Some people don't believe this obviously true thing. So, anyway, moving on. Our conclusion. What do we got?
a tantalizing picture. Bigfoot may not just be a relic of the natural world, but a bridge to something far older and more extraordinary. Whether they are the diluted descendants of the Nephilim or beings with supernatural origins,
Oh, is it diluted? It was a dilute. The genetics just got diluted over time.
their existence challenges
Okay.
everything we think we know about our past and our place in the world. As we
Oh, wait, wait, let's find it. Oh, right. Yeah, we were talking about that. Michael said, I wouldn't say convince people, but that I can find the logic / evidence to have merit. Right. Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. I still think that was not where my mind was at about it. I would say, yeah, like I said, like something that would be convincing, that I would think would be convincing based on evidence and logic. I feel like that works compelling. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I grew up basically in the woods. We'd see stuff all the time in the arroyos. None of them were impossible to explain. Yeah, because like I said, like you're always like dealing with like just stuff that you can't really make out. Like, if you ever like seen something and been so fucking sure that it was a monster or whatever it is, right? And it's like you go up, like you see it, and you just get on like a high alert, and it's like you're, you know, get all just like scared, and then all of a sudden, like you realize, oh, it's a bag or something. It was a bag that like, you know, got stuck in a tree or something like that, you know, and we're like hanging down, like. But it's but it's like when you're looking at it, you're like, how do I see anything other than the monster creature thing that I'm clearly seeing right now? Until then, you know, you see it, that it's a bag or whatever. You're like, oh fuck, never mind. But it's like for a minute there, you're like, that's a monster. Like I'm absolutely sure that is some kind of creature thing. No, just a complete like nothing, just a nothing burger. You know, just a bag on a branch.
we continue to search, one thing is certain: the truth, no matter how
Oh my
hidden,
god. That is
always
so
leaves
obviously
traces.
fake,
The
dude. Can you fucking are you kidding me with this? This is like the fourth time he's shown this picture. It's like, man, that is some solid evidence. This black and white photo from forever ago where it's like, and I think there was like one where it was the photo experts like literally found the line. They're like, it was like a line where they had like spliced the photo or something. Anyway, but
question
I
is,
think it was this one. I can't. Anyway,
are we ready to follow them? Well, there you have it. What I feel makes for a pretty compelling case for the supernatural origins of Bigfoot and the possible connection between them and
well, there you have it.
what the ancient texts call Nephilim.
Good. That is just terrifying. What the hell is going on here? Jesus.
Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to contribute to future projects and show me extra support, I'll leave a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description.
Oh, that's nice. Buy me a coffee. It's called Cabin in the Woods. Yeah, that, you know, that's the name of his channel there. Which, okay, I'm surprised that he's the first one to get that name, right? But great movie, not a great channel. Just saying, you know, that's like one of my favorite horror movies there. Not a great channel though. Just saying. But all right, y'all. I just wanted to do that one real quick here. That was kind of fun. Just do, you know, random Bigfoot one. I mean, I hope I'm not stepping on Dave's toes. All hail Bigfoot. But I think that was a pretty good one. If Dave doesn't know about this channel, I think he needs to. If this guy's going to be covering stuff like this, then we need to, you know, we need to get this over on Captive Desk's channel there. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you all so much for hanging out. See, Say classic bullshit generator script. Oh, is that what it is? So do you think it was a generated script? I need to learn how to make those because that would be great. If I can have an AI like write down my script for me, that'd be wonderful. Because I'm struggling. I'm struggling with it. It's not. It's not as easy as I feel like I remembered it being in high school. But you know, oh yeah, we did that one. Lord doesn't say compelling case and supernatural do not belong together in the same sentence. I agree. I agree. Because it's not anything that people claim is supernatural is never fucking uh, uh, compelling in any way. It just always sounds like I don't know. There's so many times, like I've said, there's like this legend here in St. Pete, Florida, of these things called the mini lights, and it's crazy because like I didn't know what they were, and then of course you run into like one person tells me about them, and then I end up of course having like 10 other people since then saying that they fucking seen them, and they're literal leprechauns. Like that. They're like I don't know what else do you call like little green men? They're like little green glowing men thing, right? Like little elves or whatever, but they're green. They're called the mini lights, and apparently there's some documentary about documentary now. Just some fucking whatever. People telling stories to a camera. That's it. But yeah, mini lights, and I don't know, and these are like seemingly pretty rational people. One of them is like a nurse, anesthesia or not nurse. Yeah, like a nurse, but like the head nurse, whatever, like RN or whatever. So you'd think she would be like pretty reasonable. And she was like saying that she saw him up on a fucking sign or something, like doing flips on the billboard. I don't know. It was just like, okay, wow. But it's just crazy when you start having these conversations with people, and then like multiple people like, oh, I see them too. And it seems to me that it's one of those like things where people, because it's like a local legend, it's just sort of like the catch-all for the things that people can't explain. They don't know what they were looking at, and so it's a fucking mini life. So it's just funny. I feel like the like Bigfoot or whatever works the same way. You don't know what it is. It's a sort of a catch-all. You can't figure it out. It's a Bigfoot, right? Oh, what is it? I can't really see it. Looks like there might have been some glowing eyes. Bigfoot, whatever. And the fact that we can't ever find any dead ones or anything like that means that they must be magical too, spiritual, magical, fucking interdimensional. Who knows? Just whatever the thing is that can explain away us not being able to find them. And that's how that's how it just sort of is the answer all, answer nothing answer for why we can't find the Bigfoots. It could just be that they don't exist, or it's a magic to answer that question there. But this is funny. Let's see. Oh, Tracy said sometimes people who have or have to be very rational in one area of life can be super irrational in another aspect. I know, but it is crazy how that works. Like, because and yeah, I don't know why that is, but I think a lot of it has to do with like personal experiences and stuff like that, and a lot of like I was saying, like from my past, interacting with experiences like that. And it's like your child brain, right? But like you're remembering back. It's almost like if somebody was like, "Oh no, well I don't know what happened, but I remember Santa Claus landing on my roof because I remember hearing him, right? And I heard the bells, and I thought I heard reindeer outside, and it's like and still believing that, right? Because your child brain was like, "Oh, it's Santa Claus," but clearly somebody was fucking messing with you, your parents or something like that, but never updating that position throughout your life, whatever. Like most people realize at some point that Santa Claus isn't real, but there's that exact kind of situations happen in with other things, and they never update their understanding. They still just have their childlike brain evaluating a situation and then thinking that their child brain had it all figured out and continued to tell the same story, and never updating it and going, okay, I think maybe I was mistaken because these are things that don't exist. Now they're just gonna, oh no, that's why I believe in ghosts up until this point, but it was like they just didn't have the critical thinking skills at that time to evaluate the actual evidence and just kept on storing it as a memory and never ever kind of like going critically analyzing it throughout their life at all, But yeah, anyway, see, it needs to buy him an education. I agree. Just all that's education is always a good thing, no matter what. But well, hey y'all, thank y'all so much for hanging out. This is a lot of fun. And I will be back. I want to say Sunday, right? What day is today? So maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But it's all up in the air right now because I'm off of work and everything. But I might tonight be hanging out with Dr. Ben, so that'd be cool. He does a what do you call it? He does like playing games and stuff on, I think it's his Twitch, right? His Twitch channel. I don't know. But yeah, so that's gonna be fun. So hopefully go check that out. I don't know if you're not subscribed to Dr. Ben's Twitch. Well, I don't have a link for it. I'll try to find it, and maybe put it in the description. Maybe Aunt Jer has it somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, but thank you all so much for hanging out. If you want to play with stuff that's hanging out, go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley at checkout. They get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brentley and get everything from dildos to masturbators to sexy lingerie and loops. And the packaging is discreet too, just so you know. And the packaging is discreet and it comes quickly when you order it. That's so, and so can you. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's my name. That's me. Brently at checkout. Get your butt some stuff. Okay. But if you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, or you can do a bunch of other shit, right? Like you become a patron, right? You can you just do a one-time thing on Cash App. If you want to do that, that'd be great. If you want to hit that join button and become a member, like you get an extra live stream every single week, and then you also get some of the live streams that I do will become member streams like almost immediately right after. So if you don't want that, if you don't want to miss a bunch of streams, become a member, and that way you can always have access to the streams. And then, because a lot of times I'll make them into a members only stream and then pull clips out of them, right? And then be like, if you want to watch the whole thing, go to become a member and watch the whole thing. But yeah. So, but thank you all so much for hanging out. It's cool. Oh, if you want to email me, punkapostate@gmail.com. If you want to join the Discord, I was just there, yesterday, hanging out. It was a lot of fun. And our Discord link will be in the description, and all the links for my other socials will be below as well. So, but hey, the main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.